Marloth Park is a holiday township that is separated from Kruger National Park by the Crocodile River. It contains a number of tourist lodges and about 4,500 privately owned holiday homes. Much of the vegetation in the park remains in its natural state, so the animals can wander and feed as they would in their natural habitat, weaving through the lodges and homes. The natural vegetation partially hides most of the buildings from view so that it somewhat gives the feeling of being in the bush. Wild animals and humans live side by side, but not without compromises. Animals are able to freely roam and eat from the natural vegetation, but some people have taken to feeding the wild animals, hence they have completely lost any fear of humans that they once had. The zebras and giraffes come dangerously close to the house, and on several occasions, zebras approached us at our front door. Baboons also have become a problem in Marloth Park and will enter homes, even using rocks to break windows in order to get food. On the one hand, it was amazing to see the animals up close without having to adhere to the distance observed on game drives. On the other hand, our proximity to wild animals and the lack of caution the animals felt toward us made me feel uncomfortable. These majestic animals deserve to be respected, revered, and enjoyed as wild animals of the great African plains. Yet here, they were treated as casually as any common squirrel you might find at the neighborhood park. Somehow, that didn't feel right to me. Our home in Marloth Park was a cozy 2-story, 3-bedroom home decorated in no-frill safari style. The floors and walls were concrete, and there were just a few decorations and wall hangings to remind us that we were in Africa. There was an open kitchen and living area downstairs. Upstairs, Leo and I stayed in one bedroom while the children all stayed in another bedroom, with one large set of bunk beds and a large bed. The highlight of the house was the outdoor area. There was an outdoor kitchen upstairs with a braai and large dining table. Just beside that, there was a jacuzzi, a dartboard, and a lookout tower that gave us wonderful views of the surrounding area. During our stay in Marloth Park, we didn't plan any specific activities. We spent most of our time relaxing and enjoying the house and catching up on our learning. We made a few trips into the nearest town, Malelani, and one night had dinner in a local chain restaurant called Spur. The food was average, but the children were thrilled with their dessert, a self-decorating waffle and ice cream set that came with a variety of sprinkles and decorations that the children could apply to the dessert themselves. During dinner that night, we came up with the idea that we could hold a sports day in which Ran would lead us in some exercise. We decided that our house color would be blue, so the next morning we each put on whatever blue clothing we had. Ran led us in a few rounds of exercise, starting with squats and jumping jacks. We then ran a few laps around the house and concluded with some push-ups next to the jacuzzi. It made me realize that during these months, we haven't been exercising enough and we should be more deliberate in including more exercise in our routine. After breakfast, we heated up the jacuzzi and enjoyed a few hours playing in the oversized tub. One afternoon, we drove out to the lookout point over Crocodile River to catch a glimpse of the action that waited us in Kruger National Park. It was quite peaceful that afternoon, and there certainly weren't any crocs in view. The only animal we could see was an elephant in the distance. We had been craving cinnamon rolls, so Amber decided to take things into her own hands. We've made cinnamon rolls together many times in Shanghai, but this was her first time making it on her own, and they came out wonderful. I messed up on the baking the next morning because the markings on the oven were rubbed off, so the tops got a little burnt. Nevertheless, they still tasted delicious. Our only disappointment during our time in Marloth Park was not being able to play at the Bushveld Atlantis, a water park with a few water slides and a swimming pool. On the first day that we arrived in Marloth Park, the kids spotted the water park, and we promised to bring them back in a few days when the weather was hot. We chose Tuesday because the weather was forecasted to be 38 degrees. It turns out that the water park is closed on Mondays and Tuesdays. The kids were so disappointed, but there was nothing that I could do. Sometimes it's just like that.